How you doing? It's Covert Radio. It is Thursday, January the 7th, 2021, the day after. The day after. Did you listen to my last video? I've been Covert Radio. It's like an hour and a half. You know what, though? There's so much information. And I nailed this. This is exactly what I said was going to happen. And now the media storm is happening. Now the neo-Nazi. Now the shame. They're basically trying to make people now ashamed that you would ever dare think that you're gonna stand up for yourself. Boy, we run this shit, boy. Hell's wrong with you? We run this. It's a series of a few quick videos today for Covert Radio. It's actually 9:42 in the PM. So you'll have these this evening. Just want to quickly cover this. I'm going to make you guys a promise. We're going to go till the wheels fall off. This is no longer fun. This is actually survival at this point. This is survival. And I genuinely need you to share this information. Act like you came up with it yourself. Do whatever you have to do. Steal it, take it, paste it, memorize it, record it, snip it, clip it, do whatever you got to do. Just please get this information out. Because the next series of information that's coming is just, we're in trouble. Okay, it all revolves around the fact that we are in trouble. And the gaslighting is unbelievable. And you have to understand what gaslighting even is to understand what's happening to us. I'll give you one example of it. This is right now. Trump tells his supporters, can you see this article right here? Because I just want to quickly cover the insanity of this, one out of a million stories in the last 24 hours. But this just, like, I just get pushed over the edge. And then it's a fountain, and I can't stop it. And we're just going to, like I said, do some quick fire shows today. But this is a prime example of gaslighting right here. Take a look at your screen. Trump tells his supporters who rioted at the Capitol, you do not represent America. Now, I want that to sink deeply into your mind, and especially if you've taken the time, the money, put the effort through to go to D.C., to be there in support after Trump and many Republican leaders, elected officials, whatever you want to call them, because it's all going to change, they all provoked all of this. Especially Trump. It is true. He provoked all of this. All the way up into an hour before it actually happened. And now, less than 24 hours later, he tells his supporters, the ones that were there that he just spoke to less than 24 hours ago, you don't represent America. They want us to lay down. They want us to shut up. They want us to take our shots. They want to change our DNA. They want to have us walking zombies. They want to own your DNA. And you're just going to shut up. They're going to tell you who's in charge. We are going into the Hunger Games. And that is another video I could do today that's going to show you the correlation between the one of the last Hunger Games that came out when there was a riot on the Capitol. And her little sister, Pemrose, which don't get me started. These symbols, it's just unreal. You have to have the eyes to see. If you don't have the eyes to see, you must have the ears to hear. And if you don't have the ears to hear, you have to just sit back and try to absorb the information from those of us who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. This is a long, many decade long program. And it's hitting us right now like a freight train going 900 miles an hour. And it's not going to stop. This is a shock and awe, dent your brain level of a militarized attack. And it's coming to us from all angles. And if you heard my last video, we have the media. We have the courts. We have the medicine. We have the machines. We have the pulpit. No, you will not go to church. No, you will not be with your family. No, you will not be around a dying relative. Yes, we're going to do what we want. Yes, we're going to grandstand in our own private parties, on our own wineries, having elite, fundraising dinners with no mask. Yes, we're going to go get our hair done whenever we want with no mask, but you can't. And now they're talking about charging these people with sedition or whatever. And again, that's another show I have coming up. The difference is in D.C., you have to be wearing a $1,000 suit to commit sedition, and nothing will happen to you. But if you're scumbag cowpig Joe America and you get labeled as committing sedition, then you will face 20 years in prison in their court system. This is no longer our country. They even drew the line yesterday. You had your own elected representatives screaming at people, "This is my house. This is my house." Who got you here? And now I guess that's the biggest question. How easy is it to manipulate what is supposed to be an election? Please, go to Project Veritas and just take 10 minutes and look at all of the data and footage and whistleblowers and undercover video that they've accumulated in the last couple months. But there's no proof. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I'm going to make this quick. We have the ruling elite privileged princess, Jenna Bush, crying, saying that this is not the America that I know. Oh, really? This isn't the America you know, Jenna Bush, is it really? Wow, you and your sister, your ex-president daddy, the Bush crime family, all the way back to great-great-great-grandpappy. This is what's happening. These are the ruling elite that are now falling in step with one another, and they're making sure we walk in single file lines. They are never going to relinquish the amount of power that they have either stolen, manipulated, or taken. Because I've said this before, real power is not given. Nobody's going to give you power. You have to take it. Just like Trump. Now, you don't even represent America for what you did. Even though I told you to do it an hour previous to when you did it, and you're anti-American now, right? Let's see here. Let me think back. Was King George III also, did he also declare those people in the colonies as insurrectionists? Or were the people in the colonies, the 13 colonies in the 1700s, were they creating sedition? Didn't King George III also say that? But back to the princess here. I just want to cover this quickly because the audacity and the unmitigated gall is just unbelievable. And I know you know, but you have to clue other people into this because this is literally how stupid they think you are.
We've heard the chants for Black Lives to Matter worldwide. Now we're highlighting BLM moments that have inspired our hearts.
Okay, never mind. Wrong story. I don't know. They just keep playing stuff. Jenna Bush Hager gets emotional about Capitol Hill riots. This is not the America I know. Really? You were born into privilege. You were born into one of the most corrupt and powerful families in the world. But this isn't the America you know, is it really, Jenna Bush? You've had nothing but privilege. You've had nothing but privilege. And now they want to gaslight and brainwash people that you're supposed to feel that way now. Just like Caitlyn Jenner is the most beautiful woman in the world. You're supposed to feel that way now. We can't agree with this. They're gonna put so much pressure on people that they're even gonna dismiss that they've even had a Trump sign or a Make America Great hat. There's gonna be Make America Great hat burnings started by the left, obviously, and the commies, and then everybody like sheep, like the cattle idiots you are. You're just gonna go and say, "Yeah, I can't believe I voted for him. Hum don't represent America. I'm going to be like You're never going to be like Jenna Bush or her sister or her family or her kids. Or the Kardashians or the billionaire Jenners. You're never going to be like them. This is gaslighting and manipulation. She comes from a multi-generational family of elite privilege. But she's going to try to tell you off of her handed voice soapbox, this is not the America I know. No, really, you grew up in privilege. When the day you were born, your grandpap was the vice president of the United States. And it just goes up from there to the point of your dad being governor, then your dad being president of the United States. Come on. The America you know. You have no clue the America I know. And you have no clue about the America everybody hearing my voice knows. Mrs. Elite, Princess, Privilege, Silver Spoon. Like, just don't get me started, man. I can't, nothing goes through me more than this level of gaslighting, where they want to brainwash people into believing that this girl represents you and represents how you're supposed to think. Jenna Bush, this is on people, Hager, which Hager is her husband, and Henry Hager, he was Jenna Bush's dad's, what was he? He had many positions. He's been in the U.S. Department of Commerce. He was a staff assistant or first staff to George Bush, senior advisor in the White House. And then, just like my last video, I talk about the elite, merry-go-round that all these families have. Nepotism, elite, privilege, nepotism. And now they think they're going to maintain control for eternity. It's going to be their family in the Capitol forever. And it's only going to get worse for us. Her husband went from board of directors to this, to back into the government sector, staff advisor to this, back into the private sector for the, director for this or what, back into government. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Everybody owes somebody a favor. Multi-millionaire Jenna Bush. $10 million is a joke to her. While you're scraping up $10 to try to get a pack of cigarettes. Wake up, and you better start to understand what's happening. Turn the TV off. She got emotional after the Capitol riots. I kissed my grandfather goodbye in that rotunda. Marika, Karen, Becky, you hear me? You like my dress? I got this job just handed to me because of my daddy and my family. But I kissed my You know who else got kissed in that rotunda? You know who else got kissed there? All the boys from Boys Town that Reagan and Bush had shipped in for their midnight tours of the White House. This is not a conspiracy. I beg you, please look into the Boys Town abuse allegation. Look into the Franklin cover-up. This is an actual scan of the Washington Times on June the 29th, 1989. Homosexual prostitution inquiry ensnares VIPs with Reagan and Bush. Call boys, like all the pizza and hot dogs that Obama had sent in from Chicago. Tens of thousands of dollars of boys coming, whatever. That was all uncovered by the FBI. These people have hijacked our country. They've hijacked our morality. They've hijacked our children. They've hijacked our minds. They've hijacked our commerce. They've hijacked our jobs. And now that's not enough. Now they want to turn us into drooling, literal zombies by rearranging our DNA. Look into this article. Pause the video right now. Read the entire article. I'll put a link to this article, this actual image of the Washington Times that I have tucked away on covertradio.com. You can read this. I'll send you a few links for the Franklin cover-up. You can look into that scandal with Boys Town. And, you know, all of this was happening 20, 30 years ago before the word Epstein ever came up. Please wake up, I beg you. I beg you. We are in trouble. We're in trouble. And our way of life is literally disintegrating right before your eyes. Right before my eyes and right before your eyes. I'm Covert Radio. If you like this type of media, this type of information, please consider becoming a Patreon, because I'm not going to last this year on YouTube. Any one of my, at any moment, I can be taken down. I've really tried to stay under the radar, but I have multiple videos just disappear. They'll, you know, I like that they send me an email to tell me they did it, but there's no real reason, rhyme or reason. It's just, you know, I don't know how many, literally 10, 20, maybe 30 videos have just disappeared off my channel. And I'm not really going to make it through this year. I have too much information. The fire is too close to the house at this moment. And we're in a lot of trouble. I mean, we're in a lot of trouble. I fear what's coming. I know what's coming. I read what's coming. Please listen to my last long play video. It's an emergency broadcast, but I have many more like this coming up tonight through the evening. If you want to become a Patreon, check that out. I'll link that in the description. You guys take care. Have a good day.